Hi, Big Jim at Howard's Place again. Sewing the last zipper onto the tarp. So this is a 9-foot zipper, and it goes all the way down to the near the bottom of the tarp on the port side aft portion of the tarp. So the trick to sewing a good zipper is you sew it on backwards on the outside of the tarp, as you can see here. This is the outside, this is the inside. And then what you do is once you sew it on the first time, then you fold it over and sew it so that the zipper, as you can see right here, that we've got the other zipper already sewn on. You sew it on, and so that way it forms a little guard for the zipper so that the zipper is hiding under the tarp and is not exposed to the weather and elements. Now there is going to be a pocket or a guard for the zipper. I've already sewn this, and this is sewn the exact same way. So you sew it backwards at first, and then you fold it over, and that gives it some strength on the seam. And then this zipper guard will keep the rest of the elements out of the zipper most of the time, and when the tarp is tightened down, the zipper guard then lays flat and keeps most of the weather and elements out of the zipper. The zippers nowadays are plastic, so you don't have to worry about them rusting or weatherizing. Obviously, the biggest thing you have to worry about with zippers in this case would be UV damage, and plastic has a problem. If it's exposed to the sun too long, it dries out and then breaks. So if you can keep the zippers out of the sun in the shade under the tarp itself, you prevent 90% of the damage to your products. So I'm getting ready to start sewing. I've already finished the first stitch, which is sewing it onto the tarp. Now it's really difficult when you're sewing a big tarp like this because you've got 10 feet of tarp over here, 10 feet of tarp over here, and then you've got another 20 feet this way. And so the tarp doesn't like to slide. It's not easy. The best thing to do would be to have a little dolly or something to place the bulk of the tarp over there. I'm going to try using one of our office chairs here on the sewing table. You can see the sewing table is quite large. Goes all the way out into the distance there. And by letting it roll on the chair or on a dolly, it would then slide across the table much more easily, because that's the hardest part, is when you're pulling or pushing the material through the sewing machine. It tends to pull one way or the other, and then you get a cockeyed stitch. So it's really hard to sew straight stitches. Here's an example of one of the stitches I did before. This is the center panel, which reinforces the peak of the tarp. So that was sewn on after I got all three panels sewed together. Then I sewed the reinforcement on there, and the power keeps flaking off here, so I'm hoping we're not going to lose power here, because it's very dark in this basement when the lights go out. So I'm going to have to, and I have no idea where the fuses are. So I'm hoping that the power doesn't go off, because it would put a very abrupt end to my day at the moment, and plus I need the internet. So that's it for me for now. I'll show you when we're done with this particular part of the project, and having fun sewing. Bye.